What's up, guys? I am Mike, and this is a completely spoiler-free review for Together. This movie, we've talked about it a lot on the channel because of the copyright lawsuit that's going on, which I will link to those videos where I covered that at the end of this if you guys want to check that out. But I'm going to leave all that out of this review today, okay? We're going to assume, or this review is based on the assumption that this movie is 100% legit and theirs and wasn't stolen, which that's a very, very real possibility. So that's what we're going to do. In that case, I absolutely love this movie, man. You have to go see it. It's one of those rare movies that actually lived up to the hype for me. With a lot of horror movies specifically, generally when there's reactions to festival movies and things, it's over the top praise. So horror fans get expectations up really high a lot for just what's an average horror movie that people are like, oh my God, it was the scariest thing of the year. I shit my pants and punched your dad. And I'm like, why'd you have to hit my father? What was he doing there? Oh my God, this was the one. Like, this was so damn good. And the reason why is because the two leads are great together. They're actually together in real life, Dave Franco and Alison Brie, who, by the way, I've seen her before, obviously, Community, all that stuff. But watching this movie, I'm like, I feel like she's been hidden from us. Like, she's so damn good. She's definitely the best in this. And it just feels like she's been hidden. She should be in so many more things. She's so good. But the story is cool because they're a couple who's having issues and codependency issues, and for instance, he doesn't have a license and kind of leans on her for stuff, but he also kind of pushes her away, and they each have issues. Neither of them are perfect. They're both interesting characters who aren't just like cardboard Blumhouse character cutouts. Like, they have flaws, specifically him. He has more than she does, but they both have flaws, and they're interesting. You may not love everything they do or love everything about them, but they are realistic characters. I feel like one of the few things I take away from the movie is they make a couple bad decisions, specifically when they fall in a cave and you're like, why don't you do this? And one of those situations in horror where it frustrates you a bit because you're like, do that. What are you doing, idiot? Don't drink that fucking water. But yeah, they go on a hike in their newfound countryside place, and they fall in a hole, and then really weird stuff starts to happen. And if you've seen the trailer, you know, and it all gets explained. And I won't say any of that because it'd be a spoiler. So, but the story is cool, right? Like, the storyline is cool. It's an interesting idea. There's not a whole lot of flaws in it because they keep a lot of it mysterious. They don't try to over explain everything that's happening, but they don't really leave you dangling on a hook either. Like, the movie doesn't end with like a tiger in the woods and you're like, what does that mean? No, it's very straightforward, but it's also mysterious and also creepy. The main thing I could take from this movie is that it's not pretentious at all. It's not one of those pretentious horror films that people just love because they think it's so fancy and croissant. It's not. It's just a good horror movie, man. It's nothing like The Thing, but there's a lot of parallels to The Thing as well. The practical effects, thank you, are so good. They are so good. And I'm sure that, I don't know this, they may have, and a lot of times this is really the best way to do it, filmed it practically and then just touch certain things up digitally. I'm not sure. I know that there's one situation which was definitely nothing but practical effects, and that was awesome, and I loved it. And there's other situations with the special effects that are just pure horror, man. Cover of Fangoria, good stuff. And it doesn't fall into any of the holes modern horror seems to fall into. I loved Bring Her Back. I thought that was a great movie. But at the same time, it's also like, but I don't know if I'll ever want to rewatch it again because it's depressing as a motherfucker. And they did that well. And then there's movies like The Woman in the Yard who are like, I don't know, let's just talk about grief and shit. And like, let's make it about that. And they're terrible at it. And either way, I'm a little tired of like horror movies all about grief and things like that. That's fine, but it feels a little bit overdone. And it starts to get depressing. Sometimes you want a movie that's fun and rewatchable and scary and good, and this manages to do all of those things. It's funny at times, but it never tries to be a full-on comedy or anything. It still takes itself seriously enough to be scary. There are jump scares in it, but it doesn't rely on them. There's actually things at stake and things that could happen. There's a cool story with a lot of mystery to it. The one thing they mess up in is they try to do a twist a little bit, and it's like, I seen that shit coming from a long way away. There's a tiny bit predictable, but that's fine because it's still entertaining. And it's got amazing gross out moments, but that's not the whole point of the movie. But it's still got some fucked up moments that leave you like goo in your seat, for sure. One couple walked out of the movie with 5 minutes to go, right at the end of the movie when stuff was getting gnarly. They were like, nah, fuck this piece of shit. And I imagine it's because on the Cinemark app, it says like insider's pick, and someone probably is like, hey, we're going to the matinee. They say this, let's go. They probably had no idea it was like an extreme body horror movie or whatever. But yeah, the body horror is great. It just, man, this movie just sticks the tip in to every cool thing that you want in a horror movie, and it never jumps the shark or tries to fall too deeply into one thing or another. I would have changed the very last shot of the movie. I won't say anything else about it. Doesn't ruin it by any means, but I just would have done something different than they did. And maybe we'll talk about spoilers one day. Maybe I'll put a spoiler review up on the Patreon and members only. If you guys want to check that out, do so. We got a bunch of stuff that just went up there. A movie commentary for Fear starring Mark Wahlberg. It's also not trying to be too cheeky. You know, it's not trying to be Barbarian. There's nothing wrong with that. I love Barbarian, but it doesn't try to do any of those things. And yet it still is surprising, and it just feels natural. And it just, I adore this movie. It's rewatchable too. It's so good. And it also even has a fraction of something to say when it comes to like removing people from your life or deciding who to stick with for the rest of your life and what path to take, and are you servicing yourself and all these things like that. It's got an interesting thing to say about that without ever being heavy-handed. It just feels realistic and it feels natural. And that is why this movie for me is a 9 out of 10. It has overtaken the number one spot on my movies list this entire year. It's my favorite movie of the year so far. I'm unafraid to say so. Go see Together, you motherfuckers. Really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this. If you're not subscribed, subscribe so that you get all the cool shit coming up very soon as well, including weapons next week and everything else. So yeah, and if you haven't clicked like on this video yet, do it, or I'll come over your house. I'll eat your Pop-Tarts. I'll probably not even pet your dog. Just kidding. I'm petting the fuck out of that dog. I might take him with me. So yeah, click like on the video or I'll steal your fucking dog.